Yo, what's up, good people?
What's good?
I know it's been a while since we came at you since our last promo, but this is Aaron Nance with
Dr. Jeffrey Foster.
and we are disturbing the peace. If you've been following us, if you've been watching our videos, you know we talk about critical issues related to urban education for minoritized and marginalized students. And I'm so excited for our podcast today, Dr. Foster.
I am so excited. Totally, dude.
Party like a rock. Party like a rock star. Party like a rock.
Yeah, we stuck in the 2000s.
There we go. For a good reason. Reason. I'm having a 90s birthday party, y'all. So we just getting prepared. We just getting ready. So super excited for that. But
I want to say happy
birthday to you. Hey. Want to say happy birthday to you. Oh.
Take a candle.
No.
Make a wish.
No. It's blow out a candle. Make a wish.
Make a Wish Foundation. It's a
great
foundation.
It's okay
to contribute to.
Not a foundation. Not a charity. Not you need a 501(c)(3).
Yes. That's a great foundation. So if you can hear us, please make a donation to the Make a Wish Foundation for Mr. Nance right here, Aaron Nance.
Please help me, y'all. Please. Pretty please.
Yes.
Pretty.
It's for the children.
Ours needs the help now.
For the children.
Ours needs the help.
It's all about the children. Because guess what? There are minoritized students within Make-A-Wish Foundation. But Make-A-Wish Foundation does a lot of great things for those marginalized students for real. That have abilities. And we want to make sure that they are supported.
For sure, 100%. 100%. So as we do always with our podcast, we check in and then we do our affirmations. So Dr. Foster, on a scale 1 through 5, where are you checking in at?
I am checking in at a 9.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's off the Richter scale.
Yeah, it went from a 3 to a 9 real quick. Cause I had a rough day today.
Let's talk about what made you go from a 3 to a 9.
Good question, because mental health is very important, especially for us men of color. I really think that we have to be in tune with our mental health and social and emotional well-being. And I had a rough day at work because I'm so passionate about what I do. Yeah. And then sometimes I'm not feeling that other people are matching that passion, and it gets me in my feelings, and it gets me anxious, and I have to breathe, and I feel like I have to meditate. And so I had the opportunity after work to visit a close friend, and my friend knows me well, and then he was like, I'm sure he picked up on, like, I was just having it was heavy.
It was the synergy.
Yeah, and so I just had to chill out, and then he was like, bruh, take your book bag off, like just chill. And then I had, he said, what's going on? And just being able to talk to a fellow educator that understands, like, you know, how you're feeling, it really helped me calm down. I chilled out, had something to drink, did some music.
Cheers.
And then, you know what? I started escalating up, and it's 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 up. Hey! And then now I'm at a 9. Yeah. Hey. So what are you checking in at?
That's good, man. Yeah. I'm glad to hear you was able to, it sounds like you de-escalated and then you was able to escalate at the same time.
Yes, I was able to level up.
Yeah.
After de-escalating my anxiousness.
Yeah, that's good.
My stress, my burden, the heaviness.
That's good. Yeah, that's real good. I'm glad you was able to do that. Well, I'm checking in at a 9 as well. I would say 10, but I'm not trying to one up you, because we did say 1 through 5. But so I'm checking. Yeah, we said 1 through 5. You said 9, which is fine. It's okay. I'm checking in at a 9.
Oh Lord, what kind of researcher am I?
It's all good. We match your energies. I'm checking in at a 9 as well. Yeah. I'm so excited, y'all. Tomorrow, I will be attending my first AERA conference. So I'm really excited about.
Hold on. What does AERA stand for?
I'm glad you asked, Dr. Foster. AERA stands for American Education Research Association. It's one of the biggest conferences for education. There are multiple conferences for education, but this is where all the big hitters will be at. The AERA president, Dr. Tyrone Howard. We're not friends. We're not colleagues. So Dr. Tyrone Howard will be there. I'm excited to meet 2 of my really close mentors, Dr. Richard Milner and Dr. Cleveland Hayes tomorrow. I'm also excited about the Distinguished Lecture Series with Dr. Lansing Billings, Emeritus, a professor at University of Medicine, Wisconsin. Emeritus, thank you. Emeritus professor at University of Medicine, Wisconsin. And I get to sit in on a roundtable conversation with Bonita Love. And if you don't know anything about Bonita Love, she is definitely a change agent in our community.
A current, relevant.
What's the book that we're reading? Do you remember?
Punish for Dreaming.
Punish for Dreaming. It's a really great book. And so I'm really excited to connect with her. And then above all, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, he's normally a contributor on BET News, and he was on CNN as well. He's a distinguished professor, I believe, in New York. Yeah. And so I'm really excited he has a section, so I'm really excited to go to his section. So I'm excited to be attending my first AERA conference. So, bro,
that's amazing.
I am on 100 right now.
I mean, yeah, you're at a 10. I'm so jealous, and I'm just thinking, these people that you named were people of color. What? Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Everybody that I mentioned are people of color. There are change agents in our community and our society. And you mentioned the word current. So whenever I'm writing a paper, these are relevant individuals who I am citing in today's time. Yes. So when I write a paper, I'm citing Milner's work. I'm citing Bonita Love's work. I am citing Howard's work. I am citing Lansing Billings' work. Yes. I'm citing all these incredible scholars.
And these people have become seminal already.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're still living and breathing. Yeah. Like this is crazy.
It really is.
Gloria Lansing Billings is, she coined the term, I hope I'm saying it right, culturally relevant pedagogy.
Yeah.
And
in 1995.
Yes. When I was in kindergarten.
Yeah, I wasn't even thought of. Well, I was 3 years old. Oh. No, I was 5.
Yeah, I'm about to say you was in maybe pre-K.
I was 5.
If you went to pre-K.
Yeah.
I didn't go to pre-K, but that's a whole nother story. A whole nother podcast episode about pre-K and all that stuff. But
anyway, I'm so excited to be attending AERA. I'm so excited to be amongst colleagues and professionals. And we have to talk about imposter syndrome, what it really means and what it is. So for an average individual person, this may be some form of imposter syndrome. But me, I'm ready to take it head on. I'm ready to interact. I'm ready to cultivate these relationships. I am ready to foster these relationships as well. I don't have imposter syndrome at all because I myself is a scholar. So I'm treating this as an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to continue my own research agenda through the lens of being guided and molded through the experiences of these individual people, these current individuals.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the confidence that you have because a lot of people, I know I myself, I really struggled with imposter syndrome for a long time. I still do. Yeah. And I just feel like I did not feel like I felt like I belonged in a doctoral program, a PhD program. It's intimidating.
Yeah.
Because everybody's excellent. You're expected to be excellent.
Yeah.
The expectation is for you to make an A.
Yeah.
So it's very intimidating, and then being able to for you to be able to step into your own as a scholar and be able to be set and ready to meet with these heavy hitters within urban education, I think that's going to be amazing. And I
agree.
I'm so excited.
I wish you could come with me, man. Yeah. But next year, next year we're gonna do our podcast from AERA.
Oh.
We're going to do our podcast from AERA.
Yes, mantras. Being able to speak it into existence. Yeah. And speaking of that, we're going to have to rewind a little bit because we didn't say any affirmations.
Oh, we was getting to it because you asked me where I'm sitting at. Then we started talking about the conference and things like that. Yeah, so anyway, to bring it back, I'm usually bringing you back.
Yeah.
But to bring it back, yes, I'm at a 9 right now. I'm excited about the conference. I'll be there through Sunday. So I'm really excited to make these connections. I'm definitely going to advertise our podcast, Disturbing the Peace. So if you haven't been following our YouTube, please follow our journey. We will follow you as well. But yeah, so if I had to give an affirmation, like I am grateful. I am grateful to be able to position myself. Let me go back and let me decontextualize.
Break it down.
What I mean.
Yeah.
What does the term grateful mean? Grateful means that you are thankful for something or someone that has happened in your life. You are thankful for being at a certain situation or circumstance when you didn't need to be.
Grateful. But
yes. I am internalizing grateful as having the opportunity to be able to make these different connections within this realm, in this community. And I am grateful to have a position of leadership in my job where I am able to come back and speak about my experiences at this conference. That's how impactful it is. So I am grateful to even be in the room with these individual people. Not everybody can be in the room.
Yes.
Hold on. I ain't trying to preach, Dr. Foster.
No, go ahead.
Let's think about this. Not everybody deserves or afforded the opportunity to be in a room. Not everybody who thinks is a leader is a leader.
Oh, Lord.
Not everybody who think they are a teacher are teaching.
And they're definitely not an educator. So I am grateful for the opportunity to be in the room. So my affirmation today, I am privileged,
would be we all are privileged, but it's also recognizing how we are being privileged. I am privileged in so many ways that I can't even count.
Amen.
I can be destitute on my last dollar and still be privileged. You know why? Because I have $1. A lot of people don't even have that. So
yeah, that's so true.
Our affirmation today, Dr. Foster, is grateful. Grateful. Yes.
I am gratefully privileged. I am gratefully blessed. I am gratefully fortunate.
And you know what else? I am gratefully imperfect.
Ooh. I am a grateful imperfect
individual.
Ooh, I like that. I've never heard anything like that before as an affirmation. I am gratefully an imperfect, perfect person.
Yes.
I am imperfectly chosen.
There you go.
I love that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I hope, as we say always with our podcast, I hope you take our affirmations, you apply them, whether you are a district leader at a LEA, whether you are a teacher, whether you are administrator, student, whoever you are.
All stakeholders.
Thank you. All stakeholders. I hope you take these affirmations and you use them in your daily lives. So if you guys seen our promo on TikTok, we're talking about school choice.
Yes.
Which is becoming a very hot topic within education. So on our TikTok, we had some responses, as we had people who agreed with school choice. We had people who disagreed with school choice. So as a good educator or lawyer would say, we're going to talk about both sides of the spectrum, and then we're gonna come to a middle ground as to what we feel as experts in our field about school choice. Again, it's not about
It's not about
right or wrong, but what does the research say, and what does the data say about school choice, especially as it relates to minoritized and marginalized students. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna talk with Dr. Foster because Dr. Foster still is a charter school leader. Charter schools are different from districts, and the one of the main difference is that charter schools, you have your own board if you're part of the district. Well, charter schools are also part of LEAs, but if you are in the district, then you're governed by the district policies and district procedures. Yeah. Whereas with a charter school, the board essentially makes up the governing policies that you have to abide by. So, Dr. Foster, just based on your experience as a successful school leader and as a successful technology instructor and educator, what has been your experience in school choice? And I know this is a two-part question. Charter schools were started to give an alternative education, in which some may seem it as a second chance type of school, especially for those behavior students. So for those students, that could be a school choice opportunity or like a last second chance program. So from your experience and from your expertise, how do you feel about charter schools and school choice from your experience as a executive school leader?
Well, it's such a loaded question. I'm going to try to hit as many topics as possible.
Okay.
But I first want to say I've had experience at working in a traditional public, so as have you, working in a traditional public school and also working in a charter school. Yeah. And they're both publicly funded, traditional public school and a public charter school. Everything is a little, the laws and everything is a little different from state to state.
True.
As it relates to North Carolina has school choice has like two different. It's kind of a little divisive a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you got the Republicans and you have the Democrats, and you have people who are all about. They're both both people within school choice. They're all about school choice, but you got the people who are pushing really hard, and it's happening here in North Carolina that they're wanting to give opportunity grants to individuals so that they can have the choice to go to a private school and get certain money towards going to a private school. It usually doesn't cover the whole tuition,
right?
But some people are getting opportunity scholarships when their parents make a whole lot of money. Like it's not just for marginalized, economically underserved families. It goes up to upper middle class families that can possibly get a scholarship to go to a private school. But that's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to go there. However, as it relates to school choice, I myself, how I see it is, I feel like everyone deserves an opportunity to choose where to send their children to school. It's public. And what really bothers me is there are certain students are assigned to certain schools, traditional public schools, that are failing. And they're failing for multiple reasons, and they can't even get licensed teachers. Like, I am very passionate about that because I had the opportunity to substitute being a professor, and guess what? The closest, if I had children, the school that was assigned to my school, my neighborhood, had a lot of guest teachers. So CMS, Charlotte Mecklenburg School System, they utilize guest teachers because we know there's a teaching shortage. And I was just disgusted and disappointed that if I had children and they were assigned to their neighborhood school, elementary school, they could have had a kindergarten teacher that I was subbing in kindergarten, and I feel like half the kindergarten teachers were teacher assistants. No offense, I've come across a lot of amazing teacher assistants, but these were people who just got hired off the street to work with children, and they're not prepared to work with children. Right. Long story short, certain neighborhoods, like if in my neighborhood, I mean, I'm not going there. It's by neighborhood and by area. Zoning. And if you went to South Charlotte, like Ballantyne area, I bet you they don't have not one guest teacher at those schools. And so they're getting a better opportunity, a more equitable opportunity, a shot at learning and education. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I would send my kids to a charter school, I wouldn't want my kids. Well, however, with charter schools in North Carolina in particular, only half of the teachers have to be licensed. So it's a catch-21. But long story short, I feel that I should be able to have the opportunity to choose where my children go. And then as it relates to the data, as far as I have seen so far, that marginalized students tend to do a slightly better at a charter school. However, there's another issue with charter schools. There's charter schools have, in certain areas, in certain states like North Carolina, you have they're kind of racially divided. So you have these students who, you have these charter schools that are majority minoritized, and in these particular charter schools, there are discrepancies. There's, the high stakes testing, they're not culturally relevant, not responsive. You have a lot of things going on within Title I schools and things like that, poverty and things like that. Right. However, a lot of these top performing schools that are minoritized and they're doing better, it's because they're like teaching to the test, and they're being robotic, and they're treating children like adults. Yeah, they're not allowing children to have flexibility and embrace learning and love learning and be able to have flexible seating and different things like that. They are sitting in columns and rows, factory type work, and they're pushing them to be able to pass the test. Right. And they're retaining students if they're not able to pass certain tests at certain levels and things like that. Right. So there's just so many multiple levels to it. Yeah. But long story short, I just feel like you should be able to have a choice. Let the parents have a choice and a say-so within their schools, what school they send their children to.
You said a lot, and I was processing. That's why I wasn't really talking or commenting, because it's very important. And you know me, Dr. Foster, I always got to give a historical perspective and historical narrative.
Yeah, break it down.
So we're going to go way back to the 50s and the 60s during the Civil Rights Movement, where I believe it was Lyndon B. Johnson at the time, or maybe it was Kennedy, who established the Fair Housing Act. The Fair Housing Act was part of the New Deal operation that was instituted. So it was Kennedy. The Fair Housing Act was part of the New Deal. That's where Social Security come from. That's where housing authority. I know my mother was in housing authority. It's fairly housing that's provided to single parents or fathers who does not make enough money for income. So the Federal Housing Association government assistance, they will supplement a portion of your rent if you do not meet a certain income requirement.
Yeah, affordable housing.
Yeah, thank you, affordable housing. So that was all part of the New Deal. However, the Federal Housing Authority also said, you know what? That's what we're going to do. We're going to divide these black communities by highways and we're going to create something called redlining to redistrict our students, and we're going to place them in different zoning. So therefore, parents of these students will have to find alternative ways for their child to get educated. Mm-hmm. So I remember back in the day when I was going to school, I could live 20 minutes away from my home school, but still be able to go to another school because I can use that address and that zip code, which now became problematic. And I feel like that is probably against the law now. So you have to go to school within your district. And I also want to go back to Brown versus Board of Education. Mm-hmm. A lot of people, 1954, a lot of research I have read, one is in agreement with Brown versus Board, but my argument is that, well, we were doing just fine before the integration laws had occurred.
Yeah.
I mean, if I want to go back to Black Wall Street, that happened in Kansas. O.W. Gurley was responsible for acquiring the land, and that was just a testament to like how much Black people had secured on their own. And we were able to educate our children the way we wanted to with qualified teachers. And since we were becoming educated, Dr. Foster, the system was broken up by the Federal Housing Authority and by redlining, which is why there is now discrepancies and systemic issues within our educational system, which explains why, as you said earlier, we have teacher assistants who are fresh out of college, who are teaching our students.
Or people who never went to college.
Or never went to college, or those who are beginning teachers and has not went through a rigorous EPP program, education preparations program. So you're right. When we have incongruence or incongruencies within our education preparation programs, and then on top of that, there's a lack of support for beginner teachers, and then you have administrators that are not well versed in different situations.
Yeah, they're not prepared to work with. They're not prepared to be culturally responsive school leaders.
Exactly, and so that sets the stage for, as you mentioned earlier, a failing school. So we have to look at the whole scope of the picture. Mm-hmm. If I go to a school on the south side of Chicago, of course, teachers gonna be overworked and underpaid. They're not gonna have the resources that they need for them to be successful. But let me go to a more affluent side. Then it is said that it may be a little bit better, books may be supplied and updated, and there may be funding. And as a matter of fact, you talked about high stakes testing. So Title I was established by George W. Bush in 2001. And Title I Fund said, you know what? We're going to give these poor Blacks an opportunity to raise their test scores. So I'm going to provide these schools who had poor testing with these funds in order to support, in order to give resources.
Yeah, he created the No Child Left Behind policy.
For sure. Yeah. He created the No Child Left Behind Act, which begs the question for me as an educator, if the No Child Left Behind Act, which President Obama succeeded to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. So,
Every Student Succeeds Act.
Thank you. Yeah. Every Student Succeeds Act. So if the No Child Left Behind Act was supposed to promote fairness and equity across all what they consider to be low-performing schools, then why are schools not succeeding?
Well, I'm just trying to figure out, why do we even have neighborhood schools to begin with?
Right. Because of redlining.
Yeah.
Because of redistricting, because of zoning. And so when we're talking about school choice and what that means, mm-hmm. I feel like when we say school choices, the parents are not able to send their child to affordable schools. So let's create schools within our own neighborhoods that serve the community, which is good in theory.
Yeah, because
it's very good in theory.
And it's some schools that are doing really well, like the Jeffrey Canada at the
Harlem Children's Zone. Yep.
Yeah. Schools like that. But then we have a lot of students in schools that are just struggling. They're failing. And then there's a lot of charter management organizations that are making, for profit, by the way, making money off of
the black students,
marginalized, minoritized students.
Yeah.
And
so it's not doing anything but perpetuating the stereotype. So when are we going to say, you know what, enough is enough?
And then one thing I'm really trying to figure out is, I want somebody to comment, and someone that knows more than me about this. How in the world can a traditional public school be taken over by a private charter management organization? How do they know?
Money talks, and BS walk. Mm-hmm. It's all about the money. It's all about the money, not about the student. So when we're talking about school choice, and like I'm all for education. I'm all for providing the best educational outcomes for your child and your student. But make sure you do your research as to why you're choosing that school. I had a conversation with a parent maybe about almost a month ago. And I was asking him, like, hey, why did you choose this charter school? It's here in Charlotte, actually. Mm-hmm. I'm like, why'd you choose this charter school? Oh, the teachers are great. The teachers are wonderful. The teachers are amazing. They love my child. That is great. That is amazing. I'm glad that your child feels supported. But supported is not learning. So you can support your child and your child not learn. And I was talking about the data. What does the data say about the school? Did you do your research? What does North Carolina Department of Instruction say? What was the school report card? What were the graphs? What were the numbers? And show me the aggregate data from the past 5 years. How has this school progressed? How has it declined? Or did it meet in the middle? So we got to get out of this comfortability feeling. Oh, my child does very well with this teacher. Well, that's probably because they don't teach, and they're trying to be friends. So that's probably why these students are not succeeding at a high rate.
I think this was actually on Vine way back when. This lady, she said, "Do not trust the school system to raise your
child." Oh, say that again. Say this. Hold on. Say that for the people in the back.
Do not.
Wow.
Trust the school system.
What system?
The school system.
Yep. To do what?
Now, I didn't say education system because there's a difference between schooling and education.
Say that again.
There's a difference between schooling and education.
By the way, I talk about that on my TED Talk. I talk about post-realistic structures for marginalized students. So please go check that out. But yes, schooling versus. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, do not trust the school.
Yeah.
To raise your children. You need to be invested in your children's education. Period. Yes. You need to check in, check out, and ask questions.
Do your research. Mm-hmm. Do your research. No research is too much. Do your research. Most people choose charter schools based on recommendations, and that's the case for most schools. It's private, public, whatever. It's based on recommendations. I do not want to be recommended for my child to go to a school. Well, you know what? It could be recommended, but I'm still going to do my research. I'm not going to take your word for it. Right. I'm like, oh, let me look into this for myself. Let me vet the school and let me see if this is a good opportunity for my child, especially if they're linguistically challenged or if they have intellectual abilities. You want to make sure that the school is a good fit for your child. I didn't say perfect. I said a good fit.
Yeah. And then you supplement at home as much as you can.
Exactly. Make sure you like you said, do your due diligence for your child. But I'm all for, as Dr. Foster said, school choice. I am against privatized education. As a matter of fact, Governor Abbott in Texas signed a bill like you were saying, to give families money and opportunities for privatized education. And if you guys are not woke and you're not paying attention, what it is doing is dividing the educational system. Most black and brown students that I know or came across are not able to afford privatized education. But if you think about privatized, that's where most of the money and the resources go to or lean towards. So we do not want to privatize education, rather find an educational school that works for you, your child, and your family.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we were pretty neutral. I mean, y'all know where we stand. I just feel like it's great to have opportunities because we want to find the best fit for your child.
Right.
And just know that marginalized and minoritized students are being discriminated against at multiple schools.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what school you advocate for your child.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's easier said than done. I know like some people don't want to ruffle no feathers, but you have to be an advocate for your child, and don't be afraid to speak up and speak out.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen amazing educators at every level.
Oh, for sure.
Traditional public schools,
black,
charter schools, and multiple races and things like that. Like you said, there are some dedicated educators out there,
for sure.
But there's also some horrible educators out there who are harming children.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that your child is getting the best, most equitable education
outcome possible.
Yes.
Yeah. So feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to see how we can help. We would definitely love to come to your town or your city.
Yes.
And we would definitely love to be thought partners, have a critical think tank on how we can best support you and support your school. We are very knowledgeable when it comes to like data, quantitative and qualitative as well. So we can definitely help assist growing your school and identifying those areas of growth as well.
Yes, and I want to commit to doing free one-on-ones this year, the year of 2024.
Yeah, I like that.
We can do free one-on-one sessions. To support you if you're looking for the best school for your child. Yeah,
so definitely email us at disturbingthepeace@gmail.com, and we'll be more than willing to assist you in those efforts.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for joining, listening, and following and tuning in.
And
with us, and before we close out, we have to do our parting affirmation. So at the beginning, we talked about being grateful for opportunities, being grateful for being in a space. I'm grateful to have Dr. Foster. I'm grateful.
Likewise.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. I am grateful to be going to AERA tomorrow. Yo, please. Wish me well, wish me safe travels, and I'm grateful for you all. So make sure you show someone else gratitude as well, because gratitude is different from being thankful. I believe you can be thankful for something because you don't have it and somebody give it to you, but it's a difference when you have gratitude towards an individual person. So please make sure you not only show grace but give gratitude as well. Dr. Foster, what would you say would be a closing affirmation for you?
I am fortunate for my favor.
Ooh, I like that. Because we all have favor. No matter if we think we do or we don't. We do. We have favor, we have grace, we have divine interventions. Whatever your spirituality is, I believe that to be true. So I like that, divine favor. Okay. I like that. Yeah. All right. You want to talk more about that, or you want to leave it like that?
I'm just gonna leave it just like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Being able to be, I feel very fortunate. We talked about gratitude. We talked about privilege, and people have different types of privileges, and sometimes we forget about the privileges that we have, and we need to celebrate and be appreciative and show gratitude for the opportunities that we have, because there's someone out there that doesn't have the opportunities that we have. Exactly. So I have favor, and I'm fortunate, and I'm fortunate for that favor.
I like that. I like that. That's very reflective. And when you're thinking about that, I was just thinking about what favor do I have, and how do I continue to get favor. You know, it's very important. But on that note, as we talked about, please reflect on school choice. Make sure you do your research. Every state have a Department of Education. It may look a little bit differently. Every state, no matter if it's public or public district or public charter, has to report their data. So make sure you do your due diligence before you sign your school, but before you sign your child, nephew, grandchild up for a school. Make sure you ask questions, because it is definitely important, and make sure you do your research. And as we always say, we love data, so be sure to interact with us. We will interact with you, and so forth. But until next time, be sure to extend that grace, that gratitude, and be sure to extend that favor to those who are in your circle, your team, your leaders, your district, whatever role you may be in. Please make sure you extend that. This has been a very good conversation with Aaron Nance and
Dr. Jeffrey Foster.
Thank you for tuning in, subscribing, and listening to our podcast on all platforms. Be sure to follow us, like, subscribe, comment, definitely comment, and we would love to hear from you. Until next time, this is Aaron Nance with
Dr. Jeffrey Foster,
and we are disturbing the peace. Peace out, y'all.
Blessings.